Hello, so this video is for April 15th, the new moon in Aries, until April 22nd with the first quarter moon in Leo. Just a forewarning, I do have a bit of a cold, so if I sound a little nasally, if I sneeze, I'm sorry. We're gonna get through this the best way we can, but I really wanted to show up and share this information with you with what's coming up this week, because there's a lot going on, a lot of energetic shifts, a lot of big changes, and it's exciting. And I really want to share how we can best take that energy and roll with it in the really good positive ways. So, the new moon is all about setting intentions. It's about going within and realizing what you want, what you desire. In Aries, this is our life path. It's loosely conjunct Uranus, so we might be making some unexpected shifts forward. We might be surprised in the path we're taking. It might not be a path that we have always expected for ourselves. We're doing something a lot different than what we normally think is conventionally where your path should be. And so we're embracing that. We're kind of planting seeds for where you want to go. So right now, just set intention, kind of set some direction, some ideas, feel into your sense of self, who you are, how you identify, and what you want for the world. The first quarter moon is halfway between the new moon and the full moon. So the full moon is the culmination, the birthing process. So the new moon is the conception, the planting, the seed process. The first quarter is halfway between that. So it's kind of like the halfway point in making it happen and putting energy in and bringing what you want to bring into life into fruition. So there may be some tension on the 22nd as the things that you really want might not be fully there yet. And so push through this and keep paving the way. The first quarter moon is also about taking care of the foundations of what you want to build. So think about what you really need to support your dreams. The things that you're defining in this Aries new moon that you want, what kind of foundations do you need to grow that on? And then find a way to bring yourself that foundation then and now. Doing this will help you move through the first quarter a lot easier, and as you do move through it, you'll notice that before where you had ideas, now you have solidified some growth. You have your plant breaking through the soil, and it's a positive move forward. So in terms of moon signs, the moon is going to go from Aries into Leo. So Aries energy is all about the beginning, who you are, where you're going, what you're here to do. It's new energy, it's active energy, and it's going out there. It's initiating and starting this new journey. That's where we're at now in this new moon. And on the 16th, early morning Eastern Standard Time, the moon is going to move into Taurus. And so we have all this new fired up energy, and we're going to take it, we're going to start grounding it. We're going to start committing to things. The energy slows down a bit. We have to be a bit more patient and really decide, okay, what's worth keeping and what's not? And what is worth keeping, how can we really water these energies and really focus on giving it nurturance, for fertility and fertilizer, and how can we grow it into being? On the 18th, the moon will go into Gemini. And so we've taken our ideas in Aries, we've given them an anchor in Taurus, and then in Gemini we start to move around a little bit more. We can start being a little bit more social. We can start using our mind to come up with new ideas and talk to people and start a couple of different projects, get a couple of different things done, break things down into manageable chunks, and then do them, and we can make them happen. And this is a great time too to take care of your mind, because while it's important to have the idea, it's also important to have the foundation it grows on. You also need to be able to have the mentality to make it happen, to be able to move into the world, to learn and to adapt and be fluid. So take care of your mind and take care of your fluidity. How flexible is your mind? How go with the flow can you be? Can you change paces when your mind says, hey, we're done with this task for now? Or do you feel like, no, I have to sit here and do it? So how flexible can you be, and can you play into where the energy is taking you and trust that it's taking you in the right direction, where you need to go? On the 20th, the moon goes into Cancer. So now we're going to start bringing this home and nurturing the energy. At this point, you might feel a little bit weary. tired and maybe a little bit alone in the world. You're doing these new things. This week of going through this cycle is going to feel so much more aligned because we're in the Aries new moon energy of new beginnings. And part of new beginnings is that you're alone and blazing this trail. And so spend time when the moon's in Cancer to really nurture the self. Give yourself what you need. Help yourself feel at home and take care of your foundations, your roots. We're starting to get a little bit more seasoned on this journey. It's not just the new beginnings anymore. It's the new beginnings and we're acting them out. We're realizing them. And so you need connection. You need family. You need home. You need a place you can go to for warmth and love and support and just a rest and a breather. So take that time during this moon phase to just breathe and enjoy, because you're going to keep going. You're going to keep building. This cycle's not done, but you need this time and space to get through the whole cycle. So just enjoy and love. Then on the 22nd, before we have the first quarter moon, the moon will go into Leo. And Leo is very fun. It's creative. It's happy. It's a little bit dramatic. Leo likes to be the center of attention, and so we might be feeling ourselves very intently, but that's not a bad thing. It's a time to really shine light on our emotions and really listen to how we feel. Don't put your sense of self, your sense of security or warmth or your needs in the hands of other people, but allow others to support you. And just radiate joy. The more joy you can bring in this time, the more fun you can have, the more creativity, the more heart and light you can bring, the better. So just let that flow. Now, in terms of transits, we have a lot of changes in the way planets are moving. On the 15th, we have Mercury going direct. So this is actually before the new moon. The new moon is at about 2100 Eastern Standard Time. So I think it's like 9 p.m. But 5 a.m. earlier today, Mercury went to direct. So while I included it in the last video, I want to include it today as well because it's just a positive news. It's positive, and a lot of people, no matter how into astrology you are, a lot of people know about Mercury retrograde. It's up there with sun sign astrology and how much it spreads. So right now, Mercury retrograde is done. It's moving forward. Today, as Mercury stops its movement, so it's going backwards and then it stops and goes forward, it's at its slowest. So expect things to pick up more, but right now you can feel things kind of standing still and then moving forward. So embrace that energy, enjoy that energy. This retrograde was a lot about what new beginnings you have, what paths you want to take, what projects you want to start, and what's the best way to do that. What's the best structure, the best way to organize it, the best way to break it down into manageable pieces to get it done. How can you work with yourself to let it flow? So that's really what that's been about. Then on the 17th, so we have two major Venus transits on the 17th. We have Venus and Taurus. So Venus is love, it's relationships, it's harmony, it's balance, it's attraction, it's feminine. It's just really pleasurable. And it's in Taurus, which is very physical pleasure. So Taurus is ruled by Venus. So it's very what feels good, what tastes good, what smells good, what makes me feel secure, what makes me feel abundant, what makes me feel good, what do I value. So we're dealing with what do we value in relationships, what do we value in our life, what good do we attract. And Venus is not go, do, and get. It's be and attract. It's still an active energy of being and attracting, but it's not out. So with this Taurus energy, just let the good things come and just align yourself with what you want to come. But on the 17th, Venus is going to be opposite Jupiter in Scorpio. Jupiter is currently retrograde. So Jupiter is optimism. It is expansion. It's higher knowledge. It's philosophy. It's expanding the mind and taking the ideas like Gemini energy and going so much deeper. And so where Gemini, you might get a couple of ideas you can kind of play around with and bounce back and forth. Jupiter is taking one energy and just diving in full force, learning and understanding the truth behind that energy full force. In Scorpio and retrograde, it's about learning about our inner shadow and the gifts we have, because I think that thing, I know that when it comes to our shadow side, yes, there's hurt and pain and wounds, but when you get past all of that, we have all these gifts that we've hidden from the world because we don't think that they're okay to bring out. And so during this Jupiter transit, it's been about healing the surface stuff and really getting to the root of that good, juicy power you have. And so with Venus opposite Jupiter, we're kind of balancing this desire to attract really good, sturdy, physically pleasurable things, but also this need to really understand and go within on an intimate level. And so you have to balance the physical with the deep. So spend time on this day enjoying yourself, but allow yourself to learn and allow yourself to go within. Scorpio is water, so allow yourself to dive deep. It feels like a really good day personally. For me, I hope it feels the same way for you too. There may be some tension because it's fixed energy of if there's anything you need to release, this will be a good time to do it. This is a good time to look at what you want and what's not working and what you need to let go. So just let go, release. You can do that in a pleasurable way though. And then after that, Venus is going to trine Pluto. So Pluto rules Scorpio, so it's very similar to this Jupiter energy we're dealing with of Scorpio going within and healing the shadows. So Pluto is in Capricorn, healing the shadows of our future, of our desires, of what we want to build, of our sense of authority. And so Venus in Taurus is asking us to attract these good things, and that invites a very positive flow because it's a trine, and trine is a very positive aspect. It invites a very positive healing of your relationship with having good things in your life, with working hard and still enjoying. Because in a lot of ways we have been taught that if you don't work hard, if you're not busting your ass, if you're not miserable and hate your life, you're not working hard enough, you're not doing enough. And so this is a time to kind of heal that and say, no, I'm working hard, I'm doing what feels good, and I'm enjoying myself. And that's allowed. That's okay. And so this can be an opportunity to heal that perspective, to heal that energy, and to open up to more goodness in your world. Now, also on the 17th, we have two more big planetary shifts. So we have Saturn going retrograde. Saturn energy, it rules Capricorn, the energy Pluto is in. So we're having a lot of interconnectedness today on the 17th. But Saturn is discipline. It's where you want to build. And it kind of applies this force in your life where you have to rise to the occasion. You have to step up. You have to put in work. You have to be disciplined. And you have to build a practice working with the energies it's in. Right now it's in Capricorn, which it rules with Pluto. And so it's about building a practice of working with your discipline, of working with your career, of working with what you want to build. And when it goes retrograde, it goes backwards to the sky. So it's going to go from 9 degrees Capricorn until 6 degrees Capricorn. And it's going to move retrograde until September 6th. So during this time, Saturn is going to move backwards. And it's going to go back over these energies it has introduced. There's been a huge major shift for everybody about moving forward, what path they want, and defining that. And this is going to give us a time to take a closer look, into what we're building, what we're attracting, what we're doing, how we're being disciplined, and what that discipline is doing for us. Now, because the energy is retrograde, it goes inward first. So it's going to be so important to work inside of yourself in a very introspective, reflective, internal manner with these Saturn energies, with this authority, with this discipline. What does discipline mean to you? How does being disciplined work for you? And where do you need to be disciplined? And where is it just not your job to show up in a disciplined way? Maybe you have a force who's just being really hard on you, and it's time to tell them to just leave you alone. Their standards are not what you're working for. You're working for your own standards. So this is a time to really define and get clear on what you want and what that looks like for you. Then we have Chiron moving into Aries. So Chiron is the wounded healer. It's an asteroid, so it's not a planet, so it doesn't have as big as an impact as planets. But at the same time, too, you can really feel it. And people who have Chiron in a significant place feel Chiron's energy. So Chiron is this energy where you have been wounded, And you heal through moving through it. It's not a pain you can patch up and get over. It's not like Pluto, you can heal the shadow side. It's not like the moon, you can nurture. The Pisces, Neptune, you can understand. It's just something you have to kind of understand that this wound is in your life. And so, Chiron moving into Aries is about understanding that when it comes to us collectively, as we move forward into the world, there's kind of this wound. There's kind of this collective wound. And it's like, for so long, we have squashed people's independent desires and purposes. And we tell them they have to be this cog in a machine to survive, to make life work. And so as we're starting to discover our own unique path, as so many of us are starting to realize that's not for us. And if it is for you, if you feel happy with where you're at, that's fine. But if there's a call for you to break free of whatever system you're currently in and do something that's more you, it's your time, but you have to do it in a way that, like, it hurts because there's wounds related to this. I'm afraid. I'm scared. People might make you feel guilty. I might feel guilty. I might feel like I'm rubbing people the wrong way. I feel like I'm doing this and it's not fair because my parents weren't able to do this, or my sister, or my brother, or my grandparents, or whoever. But it's time to still do it and to go through the pain. And when you do, you'll realize that the pain you find, that you go through, when you get through it, you can help other people do the same thing. And it's not a pain you can heal easily, and that's okay. But tap into your identity, these Aries new moon energies, your identity, your path, what you're here for. And really just commit to yourself to keep going forward no matter what. Chiron will go back into Pisces, I believe back in October. So it's going to go retrograde. It's going to go into Pisces. So we're going to dip back in to Pisces energy, which has been like a collective wound around relating to people on a spiritual level, having our soul crew, diving into the subconscious, connecting to spirituality, religion. There's been a wound related to that energy, not knowing what we're doing, figuring out what we're doing. And so we're going to tap back into that a little bit more, figure out what our soul purpose is. And then when Chiron goes back into Aries, back direct, we're going to take all that we learned and just apply it to our path and just keep moving forward in the most beautiful way, the most beautiful healing way. And that's part of our path too right now, is we're all here to heal each other, to heal the world, to heal the earth, to heal ourselves. And that's what we're doing together. Then on the 18th, we have the sun and Uranus conjunct, both in Aries. So this Aries new moon is loosely conjunct Uranus, but we don't have the exact conjunction until the 18th. So they're not Uranus and Uranus and the sun are not at the exact same degree until the 18th. So the sun is your heart. Your desire is what you're shining light on. Your creativity, your sense of self. Uranus is awakenings, it shifts, it's the collective, it's moving forward, it's these jumps and lurches, and they're unexpected, and it's the energy that's telling us, like, this path you're on, you never anticipated you were going to do this. You never anticipated you were going to do these things, and yet here you are doing them, and it's the most beautiful thing, but you didn't expect it. And so the 18th will really shine light on that, and shine light on our ability to move forward through this energy, and our ability to kind of embrace this new path. Expect shifts in how you find happiness, shifts in how you live your life, shifts in what you focus on, shifts in what you look at. And if you try to pinpoint what these shifts are going to be, chances are you'll have some ideas, but usually it's always something you don't think of. So don't really force things to come up, just kind of let it come up. And Uranus energy, it's rebellious, so you can't pin it down. It's going to come up for you when it's ready. So when it's ready, when you're ready for the shift, it'll come. So just relax, have fun, enjoy your life, get loose, and just, not like loose, but like, don't be so tense and stiff and clenching energy. Just enjoy and see what comes up. This is also the last day the sun is in Aries. So this is like a little final blip of, all right, this is the path we're on. So just, all right, we're taking that path to a higher level, and then we're moving forward on the 19th when the sun moves into Taurus. So remember, from the Venus energy, Taurus energy is that slow down, even in the moon energy that we talked about. Taurus energy is that slowing down, that steadying, that grounding, that giving root, that physical pleasure sensation, good, valuable, just really is solid, good energy is what Taurus is. So with the sun in Taurus, we're in the middle of spring, and it's just about that really solid life-giving energy, that life-birthing energy, that good quality, positive force. And so for Taurus season, for the month, the sun is that heart, that spotlight. We're just focusing on our commitment. We're focusing on our resources. Wherever you are in your life, whatever resources you have exactly what you need to get where you need to go. So how can you look at what you have in your back pocket in a more abundant light, a more gracious light? How can you be grateful for the energy you have in your life? Because Taurus brings good, solid energy. So just find value and enjoy. Spend time taking care of yourself. And also, Taurus is self-worth. So really focus on what makes you valuable to you. Why are you important in the world? Why are you important to be true to yourself? Why is it important to be who you are? Like, what gifts do you just have that are important to share with the world? What value do you have? And even if it's just you're a human being who loves, that is valuable. Even if it's a human being who struggles to love, that's valuable, because you can help people who struggle to love too. So you don't have to be in a best 100% positive place where everything's flowing good to have value. You don't. Because if you notice, if you pay attention, it can be who society overall looks as someone who's not a good person, who has the most value, who has the most love. Because they're selfless. They care. And that doesn't mean you have to give up yourself to, love. You Taurus energy is about taking care of yourself, giving yourself good roots, but don't let external energy define your value, your worth. Let yourself define your worth. Give yourself good, positive energy and support. This is a really positive season. Taurus energy is so fun. It's so pleasurable. It's so grounding and secure. It's also really positive. It's good, harmonious energy. It's the flowers you grow in the garden, which will be very helpful because on the 22nd, the day of the first quarter moon, we have Pluto going retrograde. So Saturn and Pluto go retrograde this week. Pluto, which we talked about with Capricorn Pluto, that Venus transit on the 17th, is your shadows. It's Pluto energy is how you connect with other people on a very deep, alchemical, changing level. It's that root, intimate, bringing you closer and changing who you are. And so when Pluto goes retrograde, we're going to take that energy and put it inside and heal the self, and then connect to other people. We're going to connect to other people through connecting to ourselves and then outward again, if that makes sense. This is going to be a great time to just dive in and heal your shadows. A lot of times in relationships, the problems we have are coming from our past relationship with people, the fears we've brought in, and the shadows we expect from people. And so this retrograde period from now until September 30th, it's going to go it's going to start at 21 Cap and go 21 degrees Capricorn and go back a little bit. But this time period is going to be about going within and clearing out the baggage that might be sabotaging your relationships, that might be sabotaging your life, the fears that you have that you need to release. And so spend time doing that. Spend time taking care of you and your thoughts and what you're building into your life. Then on the same day, we have the first quarter moon in Leo. So we have the Taurus sun. So now we're focusing on building positive, good energy. And this Leo moon might be a little bit dramatic, a little bit in the moment, a little bit fun, and might kind of throw the Taurus energy off. We really want the grounded stability, but that Leo energy is life. It's the sun. It gives life. And Taurus is the garden. It's the things you want to grow. And you can't grow anything without that light of that sun. So let that light in. It might be too much light at sometimes, but let that light in. And enjoy this week and allow yourself to go slow. Focus on consciousness, on mindful ways of relating to the world, and groundedness. So we've dealt with a lot of anxiety, but now it's time to kind of find a sense of groundedness that allows us to move through that anxiety in a more peaceful way. might even clear up that anxiety. You might not, and that's okay too. But find ways to connect to your root, to the root chakra, to Mother Earth, to the ground. Start working with balance. If you're not into yoga, or if you haven't tried yoga, I think that's a great way to get started in this energy, because it teaches you how to tune into the little finite energies you need to ground. I highly recommend Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube. If you haven't checked her out, you should. But that might help. But it could just be standing outside on the grass, barefoot, and imagining roots growing from you into the earth. And wherever you go, those roots are with you. So you're always grounded, you're always secure. So we're going through a lot of internal shifts. We're going through a lot of changes. And we've been moving forward ahead, and we're still moving forward ahead, but it's kind of a time to slow down and really give that more thought on a grand scale. And we just got through with Mercury, but we're starting it again with Saturn and Pluto. So just be patient, be slow, be methodical. I can't say that word. Have a method and embrace it. Be patient too, because the things you're building now, both Saturn and Pluto, are slow moving planets. Pluto takes 29 years to go through one sign. Saturn takes 28 years to go through all the signs. So not as slow as Pluto, but still slow compared to the sun, who goes through all 12 signs. Excuse me. In just 1 year. But they're slow, and they're in Capricorn. Capricorn energy is the energy it takes 30 years to build. So have patience, and you're building now the foundation for a really powerful future, and it's going to be wonderful. So just embrace this week, enjoy, and good luck. Now, if you have any comments, feedback, please let me know. Or if you'd like a book or reading, and we could talk about your personal transits plus what's going on and all this energy and how it relates to you, what you want to do in life, where you're going, let me know as well. You can either hit book now or leave a comment and I'll get to you. But until next time, bye-bye.